It's so cool you're playing a nurse because nurses are often the unsung heroes of the healthcare system. My mother-in-law is a nurse. Yeah. Shout out to Gail Carey. But over the weekend, many have criticized the head of the CDC for his statements regarding the Dallas nurse who contracted Ebola. This is what he said about her. He said that a protocol breach was to blame for her contracting the deadly disease. Bonnie Castillo of the National Nurses United said this, quotes what you just saw on the screen, "You don't scapegoat and blame when you have a disease outbreak. We have a systems failure. That is what we have to correct." And then Tom Frieden, the director of the CDC, offered an apology to all healthcare workers because he didn't want to put them all out. Do you think that playing a nurse has sort of given you this newfound sort of sympathy, understanding about what nurses go through on a day-to-day?
Absolutely. I have family members who are nurses and work in the healthcare system.
How do they think you're doing on the show?
You know, I'm getting mixed reviews. Your family's always hardest on you.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think you're right. I think that nurses are the unsung heroes of our medical system. And I think, you know, what we're dealing with is which could be a serious pandemic on our hands. And, you know, when we have a nurse who has possibly contracted this disease, that the head of the CDC would take that much time to actually focus on the nurse, you know, whose fault it is. Really, we should be dealing with how did this happen and how do we avoid this happening again, as opposed to, you know, who's blaming. I feel like people are
Which is
so
actually
busy
what I think he was trying
asses,
to do,
you know
but
what
I
I mean?
think that in a situation like this, it's so sensitive that, like, if you say it the wrong way, you got a whole group of people that are very
No,
into it.
that seemed pretty blatant.
Well, I'm more scared about the fact that, you know, maybe our nurses and our doctors aren't as prepared for this pandemic as we need them to be. And why is that? And how do we fix that? You know, in terms of making sure this doesn't happen anymore.